Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Tahira Amatul Wadud. My name is spelled Tahirah. My last name is A, M as in Mary, A, T as in Tom, UL-WADUD. And I serve as the Executive Director and Chief Legal Officer of the Council on American Islamic Relations Massachusetts chapter, CAIR-Massachusetts. I am standing here today with community leaders, advocates, and allies as we take an important stand against an institution that has continuously silenced voices for justice. I recognize and thank the following community members: Jewish Voice for Peace, Boston, If Not Now, Mass Peace Action, Arlington for Palestine, Somerville for Palestine, Alliance for Water Justice in Palestine. Thank you for your presence and witness today. We are here to formally designate Harvard, a university. We are here to formally designate Harvard University as a hostile institution, one that has actively created an environment of intimidation, censorship, and suppression, not only for Palestinian and Muslim students, but also for all allies, scholars, and advocates who dare to speak a political dissent. Harvard cannot claim to be both a beacon of academic excellence while simultaneously shutting down voices that speak out against oppression. We are here today to hold Harvard accountable and to demand that it and its discriminatory and oppressive practices end. Just a few housekeeping notes. We ask that all media representatives identify themselves and their outlets before asking a question during the Q&A. Interviews will be available following the press conference. After my remarks, you will hear from Mariam Hassan, who will officially make the designation and share the rationale for it. Attorney Barbara Dugan will follow Ms. Hassan to discuss our local community work on anti-Semitism. And then we will open the floor for brief Q&A. There are references to materials that will be directed from our website and some handouts that we have here. We also ask for a respectful engagement during this important and sensitive topic. Thank you and welcome again.
Good morning. My name is Mariam Hassan, and I'm the Research and Advocacy Department Strategic Campaign Specialist at CAIR. Today, the Council on American Islamic Relations designated Harvard University as a hostile campus due to its targeting of anti-genocide students, staff, and faculty. In August, CAIR launched its Unhostile Campus campaign, aimed at fostering a campus environment where students, faculty, and staff enjoy free speech and academic freedom and are not subjected to state force or disciplining measures due to their viewpoints. Harvard University admitted in a recent resolution agreement with the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights that its non-discrimination policy was insufficient in fulfilling the requirements under Title VI. Harvard agreed it allegedly failed to protect Muslim, Arab, Palestinian students from harassment, doxing, and discrimination. Before the ink was even dry, Harvard adopted the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition that, according to over 104 National and Human Rights Watch, suppresses free speech, silences student activism, and endangers students speaking out against occupation, apartheid, and genocide. The author of the IHRA definition called it a working definition and testified to the U.S. Congress that if, and I quote, governing bodies enshrine this definition into law, outside groups will try and suppress rather than answer political speech they don't like. According to the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression's free speech rankings, Harvard University ranked 251st or last in free speech compared to other top American universities. Harvard University is one of the world's leading institutions, setting standards for academic excellence and freedom. And by adopting this definition and creating a hostile campus environment, Harvard sent a troubling message that free speech doesn't matter and that Harvard no longer cares about academic freedom. In conclusion, designating Harvard as a hostile campus is a stand for the protection of free expression and the right to learn without fear of discrimination. Universities must be places of inclusion where all voices are heard and respected. This decision is about holding Harvard accountable to these principles, ensuring no one is silenced or targeted for their beliefs or identity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Barbara Dugan, B-A-R-B-A-R-A. Dugan is D-O-U-G-A-N, and I am the legal director at CAIR-Massachusetts. I'd like to thank our community partners and allies again for joining us here today. And of course, we thank the members of the media for recognizing today's topic is worthy of your efforts. Miriam just told you why CAIR has designated Harvard a hostile campus when it comes to criticism of Israel or support for Palestinian human rights. At CAIR-Massachusetts, we saw the events that led to this designation unfold in real time, as dozens of Harvard students called our office for help, typically in response to their social media posts decrying the carnage taking place in Gaza. They were threatened by Harvard with discipline and harm to their academic careers. Some, in fact, were disciplined. They also faced doxing and death threats from their fellow students as well as outsiders. This all was a response to them daring to express views on issues of an intense international debate. Unfortunately, Harvard has chosen to make official what it was already doing by adopting the CAIR definition of anti-Semitism. Harvard has essentially aligned itself with a foreign government by its willingness to punish those who criticize Israel. But this is not just affecting academia. You should know that this same issue is being considered by our own state government here in Massachusetts. Tucked into the state's 2025 budget was language that created Massachusetts' Special Commission on Combating Anti-Semitism. The fact that it was inserted into the massive state budget in such a manner meant that the proposal bypassed the usual legislative process with no opportunity for public notice and debate. I think it's fair to ask why legislative leaders thought there was a need for such a backdoor maneuver. The commission began meeting this past October. Despite proclamations that the commission would represent diverse viewpoints, all of the non-governmental appointments represent organizations that are aligned with Israel. CAIR-Massachusetts was among the many groups that were alarmed by the commission's creation and its composition. Make no mistake, CAIR condemns anti-Semitism, just as we condemn all forms of religious discrimination and bigotry. That's what we deal with on a daily basis. But we are greatly concerned when one form of religious discrimination is held up as the most important of all, while all other religions are relegated to second-class status. In response to the commission's creation, a coalition called Together for an Inclusive Massachusetts was formed. This coalition is a diverse group, including many of our partners here and others. Jewish Voice for Peace, Boston Workers Circle, If Not Now, Massachusetts Peace Action, the Alliance for Water Justice in Palestine, my office, CAIR-Massachusetts, and SAWA, the Newton Area Alliance for Peace and Justice, and more than 50 other groups, some of whom, again, are represented here today. We came together around the belief that addressing anti-Semitism is essential and must be done with care, reflecting the diversity of all Jewish people in the Commonwealth, and within a framework that embraces equity and inclusion for everyone. To be clear, it is our deep and unwavering commitment to equality and justice for all, including both Jews and Palestinians, that compels our work. The Anti-Semitism Commission will hold its next meeting on Monday, February 10 at 1 p.m. Due to our coalition's efforts, for the first time, the Commission will hear from alternative views when Together for an Inclusive Massachusetts, our coalition, presents a panel on public education. We urge the media to cover the Commission's meetings and would be happy to put you in touch with other coalition members. Thank you.
And we're happy to take questions from online or in person. Okay, I have a question from online, and Mariam, this may be for you. But what is the impact of designating Harvard University as a hostile institution?
That's a great question. First of all, the impact of designating Harvard as a hostile campus is that we as CAIR, as an organization, are going to put pressure on the hostile actions that Harvard has taken by discriminating against Palestinian, Muslim, and Arab students. And also, we would like to support these students through this designation as an organization, a Muslim advocacy organization, to give them the tools and give them the resources to be able to stand up and speak out for academic freedoms. And then thirdly, we sincerely hope that the college will be a leader in society for academic freedoms, for free speech, and for equity and inclusion. Thank you.
Stay there. There was a second question.
Okay, sure.
The question was, so what comes next?
So what comes next is the next question. As we are working on our Unhostile Campus campaign at CAIR National, we're going to continue to designate universities and colleges who act hostile and discriminate against our Palestinian, Muslim, Arab, Jewish, and other students, faculty, and staff who oppose occupation, apartheid, and genocide. We are also going to continue with putting pressure on those universities through this campaign. And we're going to continue to give the students the support that they need via the report form online, which can be found at islamophobia.org/reportacampus. And we're going to give those students the information that they need, the reports that they need to know how to put pressure on their administrations.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Just looking through all notes. Okay. Seeing no further questions, we can close the press conference. I do want to note for the record that today is January 30th, and we are in Boston, Massachusetts. The press conference started at 11 o'clock a.m. It is 11:21, and we will conclude. Thank you very much.